Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hand Me Down Studios. I am your host, the most, the man with the plan. I am Larry D, and I am here tonight to talk about one of my favorite things, and that's wrestling. Wrestlemania is in the books, ladies and gentlemen, and I will say overall for an event, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. But both nights had different ratings, and we're about to go through that and understand why. So let's start off with night one of WrestleMania. First off, it was good off to see John Cena. Always good to see Cena. That bald spot seems to be getting bigger and bigger every time we see him. But hey, you know what? That's part of the business, I guess. The suit was fly though. I do like that, John. That was nice. So going into everything, first match of the night, we go with the Usos and LA Knight versus I Show Speed and the Vision. Basically, it was the punchlines versus the YouTubers and social media stars, basically. Austin Theory, not so much. He's kind of just odd man out here. But I will tell you that this match left really nothing for me. I mean, it was a lot of yeets, it was a lot of yeahs, it was a lot of simple spots that people got used to that have seen this plenty of times before. The big spot went to I Show Speed at the end, jumping on Logan Paul from the top rope onto the table. But at the end of this, it really left nothing for me. It was kind of like, okay, we had a potty break match at the very beginning. What I will say though is that I feel bad for LA Knight just because I feel like he's tossed in the middle of this when this dude was main event caliber less than 2 years ago. We need to get back to having the megastar be the megastar and not run around and just be clowning with everybody. Now, an unpopular opinion that I'm about to say right now, and please don't subscribe. Don't unsubscribe from me. Just listen before you just throw it off there. Listen first. Unpopular opinion, Logan Paul is, I will say, one of the best athletes out there right now. I mean, dude puts on a show every time he goes out there. I know how much of an ass he is. I know how much of a douchebag he is, but dude puts on a performance out there, whether he's hurt or whether he's out there just doing his thing. The camera and everything else just kind of pans to him, and it just makes him that dude right now. And if he continues to hone his skills, he's just gonna get better and better and better. So, unpopular opinion, but what can I say? Not everybody's gonna agree, right? I mean, a lot of people don't agree that ketchup goes on tamales, but we won't go into that. That's a video for another time. So let's go on to the next one. Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. This one here was, not the knockdown drag out affair that I thought it was going to be, but overall, I mean, it was a good showing for Jacob. The Samoan Werewolf, one of my favorite dudes out there right now. He is by far killing it, and him and Drew put on the show, and I'm kind of glad for the outcome. Way to go, Jacob. Let's make sure that we continue to roll with him, and let's get a title back around that man's waist as soon as possible, shall we? All right, next up, the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Y'all knew when Paige came out. Y'all knew exactly the way this was going. This was like, oh my God, Paige came back. I said as soon as she came out, okay, we got new tag team champions. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad she freaking changed from Brie Bella, but I'm sorry, from Nikki Bella, but it just pissed me off enough that the Bellas were in this in the first place. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to have their comeback. Everybody wants to have their moment. I mean, we got AJ Lee that's back. Paige came back. The Bellas are here, but the Bellas just never did it for me, and they still don't. I mean, yeah, you want to call it eye candy or whatever else, that's fine. If you want to say who's the better Bella, it's definitely Brie, in my opinion. Nikki was just arm candy that just got on people's nerves, and that's plain and simple. But again, my opinion. You may have something different. Let me know what you think. So the one person that got screwed over in this match the most, I think, was Bayley. Bayley just seemed lost. Bayley seemed lost in this match, and I feel bad for her because that girl's worked her way through everything in this company, and again, kind of like the LA Knight situation where it just kind of like she just kind of got stuck in the middle of this and has no real direction. I'm really hoping that they make a change with Bayley and get her going somewhere because, again, that's another one I'd like to see with championship gold around her waist again very soon. All right, so moving on next, let's get to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. AJ proves she still got it. she still got it. It wasn't the greatest match. It wasn't the most technically sound match, but the women went out there taking bumps. Becky did her thing, as she always does. AJ went out there, put on a show, showed that she could still hang with the best of them. I mean, I know there's always talk about AJ and about how she's just too little and how she did this and how she do that, but she did her thing last night. But congratulations to Becky Lynch. She's got gold around her waist again. The man has come around again, and it's going to be a big summer, for the man. Now, where does AJ go from here? We don't know. It all depends on how the hubby does, in my opinion, which we'll get into the next video. So stay tuned. Make sure you come back for that. Then, the match of the night. The ring dinner battle. Gunther and Seth Rollins. This match was just thrown together. I know with injuries and whatever else, it was kind of just thrown together like, okay, we need another match. What they didn't expect was they were going to put on a banger the way they did. I mean, the hits, the shots, everything that you saw, the animosity through these two, I mean, it was just hit after hit after hit. This was the match of the night for me. And that's saying a lot considering what was coming up. But this is the match of the night for me, and I'm glad that it happened that way because it just proves more and more how valuable Seth Rollins is to this roster and just how much power Gunther holds over the crowd here. Because the hatred for him is astronomical. And while, things didn't go the way I thought they were going to go, I'm glad to see that Gunther's continuing that streak. And Seth just proved that, okay, we're going to take this to the next level. Now, while at the end of the match, I kind of figured what was going to happen, I was sitting there and I was talking to my wife and I said, you know what's going to happen? We're going to sit there and we're going to have something happen where either Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed's going to come back. And sure enough, here comes Braun Breaker to do his thing. And poof, there we go. So, no big surprise there for me. But, again, I digress. We move on. Next up, Liv Morgan and Stephanie Paquette for the Women's World Championship. I've said it for a long time now. Yes, Liv's a hard worker. She's a hard worker. She's been a part of the faction. She's been part of tag teams. She's held her own. But in my opinion, I still feel like Liv's a paper champion. She's just kind of a fill-in. I guess but if you look at her as a fill-in, I mean, maybe she's the one to help put over that next big champion. Maybe it's a chance to give Stephanie a chance to get her stuff back. Maybe it's a chance to bring somebody else from NXT to deal with Liv Morgan. Or maybe, just maybe, it'll finally be that time for Raquel Rodriguez. That's the way I feel like this is going, is that keep a lookout for Raquel Rodriguez. I think something's going to happen within the Judgment Day, and Raquel's going to end up taking out Liv, and it's going to be those two. And I feel like it's going to happen by SummerSlam. And watch, I feel like it's time for Raquel Rodriguez to get some gold around her waist. So that may happen during summer. Again, just my opinion, but you never know. And then last but not least, the last match of the night. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The Viper, Randy Orton. Bloody, angry, animosity, but yet teacher versus mentor. It was a great match, but it was also cinema. It was great cinema. For most of that match was 50-50. Who was booing Randy, who was cheering Randy, who was booing Cody, who was cheering Cody. It was 50-50 that entire match. And then it came to that one point where Cody went too far, in some people's opinion, and he went low blow on Randy Orton. If you go back and rewind to that particular point, it had been 50-50 that entire match. When he went low on Randy, that entire crowd turned on him. I mean, they booed him like he was Dominic Mysterio. That's how much they booed him. And after that point, it became more boos versus cheers for Cody, and I think that set it up just the way it needed to be. Again, not the greatest match, but at the same time, it was high cinema because you felt it going towards Randy and away from Cody, which sets up that possible heel run that we've been looking for Cody Rhodes. Then, at the end of the match, Cody retains. Oh my God. Nobody thought Cody was going to retain. They thought Randy's walking out of there as a 15-time champion. Nope. Pulled that right over us. Didn't think it was going to happen. But at the end, if you listen, If you listen, you are hearing people when Randy took that belt from him and hit him with that belt. If you listen, you could hear people chanting punt, 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 like they wanted him to punt him in the head. And it was loud. It wasn't a 50-50 crowd. It was loud, which means, in my opinion, they're going to, if WWE is smart about that, they're going to feed off of that, and and when Cody comes back from this injury that he's had, if they don't pull a heel run out of Cody right now, they are losing that momentum. This is the perfect time to pull out that heel run. If you're listening out there, pull the heel run for Cody right now. Let him go on his injury minute. Let him get healed. Let him come back on Monday Night Raw with the championship on, or even on SmackDown, and then just lay into the crowd about how they turned on him. If you ever wanted a good heel run, this is the time to do it now. But again, just my opinion. So, that wraps up night one. I look forward to seeing the comments to see what everybody else thinks. Of course, I'm the type of person that doesn't shy away from comments. If you think I'm an idiot, tell me I'm an idiot. If you think that I'm right, explain to me why I'm right. And if you just want to just debate on who's doing what, then by all means, just let's do it. But stay tuned. Night 2 will be coming up here shortly. We'll go over night 2 and then get ourselves ready for Monday Night Raw and everything else that's going for it. All right? I look forward to seeing what's in the comments, and let's have some fun with it, y'all.